Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're turning our attention to Belgium, a country often seen as right at the heart of Europe. It's got, well, quite a history, some incredible architecture, and this really fascinating cultural mix.
Absolutely.
We've gathered a range of sources that explore Belgium's past and highlight its most compelling attractions.
Yeah, lots to unpack there.
So our goal, really, is to pull out the most interesting bits, the important aspects, so you can quickly get a real feel for what makes Belgium, distinctive.
That's a good way to put it. Think of this as your shortcut, maybe, to understanding Belgium beyond just, chocolates and waffles.
Right. Though we'll probably mention those too.
Oh, undoubtedly. But the sources show a country that, it's geographically small, but it's had this massive influence on European affairs. And the cultural depth is really something worth exploring.
Okay, so let's start with the history then. It seems like Belgium's location has just been fundamental to its whole story. A crossroads for cultures and sometimes conflict too.
Precisely. Yeah, its position made it a natural bridge between different European cultures, but also, territory that was fought over quite a bit. Our sources point way back to the Celtic Belgic tribes, the early inhabitants, and then a really significant period under the Roman Empire.
Right, the Romans.
Yeah, and that early influence, even though it was centuries ago, it kind of laid down some of the first administrative structures, infrastructure.
And that was just the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then we see the Franks arriving, and it becomes part of the Holy Roman Empire.
Exactly. And that's a huge, complex entity, the Holy Roman Empire. It shaped a massive part of the continent for a very long time.
So Belgium was right in the thick of it.
It was, and being part of that really shaped its early politics, its connections across Europe. Later on, it was part of the Spanish Netherlands, then the Austrian Netherlands, so it kept being exposed to different rulers, different agendas.
You could argue that maybe helps forge its own identity over time.
Possibly, yeah. A sense of being distinct perhaps grew out of that experience.
Which brings us up to 1830. That seems like a huge moment. Independence from the Netherlands after a revolution. What really drove that?
Yeah, 1830 was pivotal. It was, a combination of things. Cultural differences, language issues, economic factors all played a part.
Okay.
And that successful revolution led to Belgium becoming independent and initially neutral, but its location...
Still key.
Still key. It just couldn't escape being strategically important, which tragically meant it became a major battleground in both world wars.
Right. A heavy history there. But it's not just history, is it? Even now, Belgium's a founding member of the EU, of NATO. That's pretty significant for a smaller country.
It really is. And what's fascinating is how Belgium has sort of leveraged that crossroads position, to become this hub for international cooperation.
How so?
Well, its central location, plus having this tradition of multilingualism and a commitment to diplomacy. It just made it a really attractive place for big international organizations to set up shop.
So it shows influence isn't just about size.
Exactly. It's about strategic position, political will, maybe. It's had a lasting impact.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about what you might actually, see if you go there. Brussels seems the obvious starting point, the political heart of Europe.
Yeah, Brussels is really interesting because it's where history and modern international politics really smash together. So you have the EU institutions, obviously, but also these incredible historical sites, like the Grand Place that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, right, UNESCO. That means it's pretty special.
It does. UNESCO is the UN body for education, science, and culture. They designate places of, outstanding universal value. And the Grand Place, wow, those incredibly grand guild halls, just shouts rich history.
The pictures look amazing. And our sources say it's not just a museum piece, it's still used for events. Flower carpets.
Oh, yeah, the flower carpet. That's a huge tradition, usually every 2 years. They basically turn the whole square into this massive living carpet made of begonias. It's stunning. A real testament to the city's cultural life. Draws crowds from everywhere.
Okay, and then there's the Atomium, which looks, futuristic even now.
Yeah.
Built for the 1958 World Expo.
Yeah, it's a real icon. It was meant to symbolize the peaceful use of atomic energy, scientific progress back then, that sort of post-war optimism.
And you can go inside for views.
You can. The spheres have exhibits, and the top one gives you these amazing panoramic views of Brussels. It really captured that forward-looking spirit of the time.
Cool. What else in Brussels?
Well, there's the Royal Palace, the official home of the King and Queen.
Okay.
And definitely the Magritte Museum. René Amati, the surrealist painter, he's a huge figure in Belgian art.
Ah, Magritte. Surrealism, right there in the capital. That's a certain something.
It does. And if you're interested in the EU side of things, the Parliamentarium is worth a visit.
What's that exactly?
It's like an interactive visitor center for the European Parliament. It explains how it all works, the history, the impact, gives you context for Brussels' role today.
Got it. Okay, let's journey outwards. Bruges, the Venice of the North. What gives it that fairy tale reputation?
It's just incredibly well preserved. The medieval center, it's all canals, cobblestone streets, amazing old buildings. It genuinely feels like you've stepped back in time.
So those canal cruises must be popular.
Oh, absolutely. They're a great way to see the architecture from a different angle. You glide past these medieval facades, under old bridges. It's very atmospheric.
What are the big landmarks there?
Definitely the Belfry, you can climb it for incredible city views. And the main market square, it's just buzzing, very picturesque.
And there's a church, the Basilica of the Holy Blood, with supposedly Christ's blood.
That's the one. It's a very important religious site, obviously. It's housed this relic, believed to be a cloth with Christ's blood for centuries. Attracts a lot of pilgrims.
Wow, that must add a whole different layer to the city.
It definitely adds to the historical and spiritual intrigue of Bruges. And, alongside that history, you've got the lovely little chocolate shops, the lace makers. Traditional Belgian crafts are everywhere.
Right, okay, next stop, Ghent. Close to Bruges, but our sources say it's a cultural gem with its own vibe.
Yeah, Ghent is different. It shares the history, the canals, but it feels, more lived in, more dynamic. It's got a big university, a really lively art scene.
Less of a museum feel than Bruges, maybe?
Perhaps. It's definitely a living, breathing city, but one with a seriously rich past. You've got Gravenstein Castle right in the center.
Gravenstein, tell me about that.
It's this amazing medieval castle, really well preserved, gives you a proper look at medieval life defenses, living conditions, the whole lot. Really atmospheric.
And there's a famous artwork in Ghent, too.
Oh, yes. St. Baba's Cathedral houses the Ghent altarpiece. The Adoration of the Mystic Lamb by the Van Eyck brothers. It's an absolute masterpiece of early Netherlandish art, hugely important.
Wow. The sources also mention a great restaurant scene. Is that the student influence again?
Absolutely. The university brings this vibrant energy. And yeah, a really diverse and often quite affordable food scene makes the city feel young and historic at the same time. Plus, the Grassley and Kornley, those quays along the river, just beautiful spots to hang out.
Sounds lovely. Okay, let's head to Antwerp. Second city, right? And known for fashion and diamonds.
That's right. Antwerp's a major port city, historically a huge trading center. That history laid the groundwork for its economic strength.
And the diamonds, how did that happen?
It just became the global hub over time. Today, it's pretty much the world's diamond capital. The Antwerp Diamond District is where a huge percentage of the world's diamonds are traded.
The world's diamond capital, that's quite something.
It is. But it's not just commerce. Antwerp has a massive art heritage, too. The Cathedral of Our Lady has major works by Peter Paul Rubens.
Rubens? He lived there, didn't he?
He did. He's intrinsically linked to Antwerp. His art is all over the city, but the cathedral has some real masterpieces. And for fashion lovers, the fashion district is genuinely world-class. Lots of influential Belgian designers.
And there's a museum, MAS.
Yeah, the Museum in Die Stroom. It's a fantastic museum right on the waterfront. Covers Antwerp's history, its connection to the world through the port, and the rooftop views are spectacular.
Okay, changing pace completely now. Waterloo, the battlefield.
Yes, just outside Brussels, a hugely significant historical site.
Napoleon's final defeat, 1815. Why is it still so important in European history?
Well, that battle was a massive turning point. It ended Napoleon's reign for good, reshaped the map of Europe, and kind of ushered in a new political era, a period of relative peace, actually.
And you can visit the battlefield? There's a mound?
The Lion's Mound, yeah. It was built on the battlefield, and climbing it gives you this amazing panoramic view of where the fighting happened. Helps you understand the scale of it all.
Must be quite powerful. Is there a museum?
There is a very good visitor center and museum. Explain the battle, the strategies, the impact. It's a place for reflection, definitely, on how Europe changed.
Right, from battlefields to Nature.
Yeah.
The Ardennes, southern Belgium.
Yeah, the Ardennes region, it's a total contrast to the cities. Rolling hills, deep forests, little villages, really beautiful.
What do people do there?
Lots of outdoor stuff. Hiking is huge, kayaking on the rivers, cycling, just getting out into nature. But even there, history pops up. Bouillon Castle, for instance.
Bouillon Castle.
Amazing medieval fortress. Parts of it go back to the 8th century, apparently. Perched high up, overlooking the river.
Wow, 8th century? That's old. And the Ardennes, World War II connection too, right? The Battle of the Bulge?
Yes, a major part of the Battle of the Bulge was fought there. So you have memorials, like the Bastogne War Museum, the Martasson Memorial. It's another layer of history, a reminder of more recent conflicts in that landscape.
Important sites for remembrance.
Definitely.
Okay, one more city. Louvain, near Brussels, university town.
That's it. Leuven's dominated by its university, which is one of the oldest in Europe, so it has this really lively, youthful vibe.
What's the town like?
It's got a lovely old town. Cobbled streets, lots of cafes, shops. The town hall is spectacular, really intricate Gothic architecture. And the old market square, Udmarkted, they call it the longest bar in Europe because it's just lined with pubs and cafes.
Longest bar in Europe? Sounds like fun.
It's certainly lively. There's also the M Museum, which mixes contemporary art with older pieces, and the University Library, which was famously rebuilt after being destroyed in the wars. A real symbol of resilience.
So a mix of history and youthful energy.
Exactly. A very appealing combination.
And look, we can't wrap up Belgium without quickly mentioning the chocolate and the beer. They seem fundamental.
Oh, absolutely essential. Belgian chocolate and beer are world famous for a reason. The quality, the craftsmanship, the sheer variety, it's incredible.
More than just food and drink, then.
Definitely. They're deep-rooted in the culture, part of social life, a source of national pride, really. The artistry involved is amazing.
So, summing up, Belgium. Small country, but just packed with history, culture, nature. Seems like it punches way above its weight.
It really does. There's just so much diversity packed into a small area. You've got medieval towns, bustling modern cities, battlefields, forests, a real blend of past and present.
It creates a really unique character, doesn't it?
Absolutely. A place that's shaped history and is still shaping it.
Well, here's something to think about then. Considering Belgium's history as this crossroads and its role now in international organizations, what does that tell us maybe about how smaller nations can actually have a pretty significant impact on the world stage? Something for you to mull over. Thanks for taking this deep dive into Belgium with us today.